one-on-one, it might be, as I move away from just yoga, it might be doing a simpler movement action and investigating where a pattern might not be serving someone and how to kind of intervene or find a place for like new choice making and movement.
Ooh, could you give an example of a like a pattern you might work on with somebody?
Oh gosh. I want to try to think of one of my own in a way. I mean, I guess I could talk about things I'm working on with people without naming names. Um, I'll talk about a personal one though. There's a common pattern for a lot of people that develops in childhood, usually, like in even in infancy, which is sort of a startle pattern or a bracing pattern in our posterior chain, specifically in the muscles flanking our spines, of arching our backs and using those muscles to hold ourselves up. And so we do it for a lot of reasons in childhood, often being stood up or sat up before we're ready. It's a way to not fall.
Hmm.
And so it becomes a kind of operative pattern that I see in a lot of people and that I've seen in myself, where even if I'm not going to, I don't really think I'm going to fall even off of this chair, because I'm really engaged in this conversation with you. I can even notice myself, I'm continually reminding myself to like relax and broaden my lower back, that I don't have to participate with you like from my lower back.
Hmm.
And I see it in yoga. I see, and it sort of has other than like physiological effects, sort of even down the chain, or is it up? Like sometimes cause and effect are blurry, and that's great. But usually it means using our lower backs too much and not using our glutes or hamstrings enough. Anyway, it shows up in a lot of ways. And I have found through, I'll just tell you the detail of what helped me uncover that. There've been a lot of things through time, like through my study and with my teacher in sort of private sessions that have helped me to unpack it. But one big aha moment was very weird and subtle. I'm going to do my best to put it to words because I'm still kind of unpacking what happened. And I may never know. Like a big part of somatics is learning to verbalize and tell stories about our inner worlds, and to also hold them really lightly and to remember that it's storytelling. And so for me, the aha moment that really unlocked this pattern, even though I'm kind of always working on it, was like I start from anatomy a lot. So learning conceptually that my um like rectum is in front of my sacrum and tailbone. Something about that and feeling its forwardness helped me disentangle this like bracing pattern in my lower back when I was like doing a simple sort of log roll from side to side, like keeping my spine, not rolling sequentially, but more or less rolling with my spine in one piece from side to side. So instead of like arching my back to do it, somehow the like squishy organness of realizing that body truth, not conceptually anymore, but like feeling my like rectum and colon and anus sort of in front of my sacrum and tailbone. Something about that feeling, like my back like released, and I suddenly found smoothness and this movement that had been difficult and jerky. So that's probably a good example because it's a very weird one and I can't really articulate what happened more than that. And then I cried and cried and cried. And which, there's so many ways of motoring out or processing things that happen, and that's sort of the psycho-emotional component that like is a kind of a mystery, and a really important piece of it was whatever my body mind needed to do to process that new pattern. And in that moment it was like crying um without a good reason.
I love that example. I feel like it really points to what you were saying before about having some kind of container within which to do the somatic piece. So, like learning that bit of anatomy conceptually, it's so interesting how that can turn into a different kind of internal exploration and figuring something out.
Yeah, and again, it's still mysterious to me, but it's quite powerful. And for me, that's enough words for it. Like I sort of trust and feel the continuing change from having figured it out. And again, there's a lot of like journaling or drawing or storytelling, or people have a lot of different ways of expressing themselves. That's sort of the integration of figuring out some wordless body thing.